First, we'll just, first thing I like to do is just go through all of the joints, right? So we'll just think about, this is like an easy way of thinking, head to toe. So first up, we want to move the occipital joint at the back of the skull. Now we can go straight into neck rolls, but it can be a little bit much if you're, just doing it cold. So this is your important joint in the neck, if this was your spine, where that just goes into the skull. You can feel if you just reach back, there's like a little bump there. And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to pull the chin in a little bit. Now, this isn't forceful. This is just a tiny bit like chin in. So you're not like computer posture, right? You're just like a little bit in. And from there, crown up like you have a string, chin a little bit in, and now you're in nice alignment. And from there, you just move. Like the eyes are scanning laterally, right? They're moving from left to right. You can do that nice and slowly and really try to feel that movement is coming here from the occiput. Now, on the last, we can say stretch, or the last full extension, that's where we have the opportunity to stretch. So we can move now a little bit further, just a little bit further, and then we feel the stretch down the opposite side of the neck going all the way to the shoulder, and then release. So a little bit further, and we feel that, and then release. Let's do that maybe once or twice more each side at your own pace. Nice. And then something we can add to this is that if I am looking, for example, to my right, I can take my left hand out, palm forward or palm slightly up, open the shoulder, and then just reach back, and I get this nice stretch going all the way from that tendon that goes right from the ear, just all the way back. Take a nice breath in here, inhale, and then just release. So we'll do the same on the opposite side. So head is central, crown is up, and I look all the way to the left, and then I reach palm up or slightly forward and reach open, and I feel this, and then release. That's a nice, beautiful inside front body stretch across the chest. Okay, and then when you feel that your neck and head is moving, then we can do semicircles. So chin to chest, and we look up, and then opposite side looking up. And they can move, slightly faster, not so fast that I'll turn your head into a metronome, but just moving nice and comfortably. Okay, and then we can start to go back a little bit, maybe 45 degrees back. No need to go all the way full circle, but we can go back and back. Okay, hopefully now this whole area feels good. Now we'll start to roll the shoulders nice and slowly in full range of motion if we can. So that means when I'm coming forward, I'm hollowing my chest. Coming up and back is like, I'm playing the part of a ogre in a school play or something. Now there's a natural sort of breath movement that goes with this. We want to inhale as we expand. And release. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, release. Good, okay. We can do a few rolls forward. They always seem somehow less satisfying, but we want to balance it out. Okay, good. Now, hands, wrists, arms. We can always do this, like we're painting in and out. Nice fluid motion. So you get full fluid motion when all the joints move. If I do this, not so much. So wrist, elbow, shoulder, whole body spiraling. It makes a nice fluid. Try and be fluid as you can with it. We can go both ways, of course. This then becomes more of a Tai Chi-like movement. But but it's a nice way to move the body. And we change direction in again. We get the whole. Now we start to sit up and down a little bit on the, so the knees are becoming active, the hips. And again, there's a kind of a natural breath that comes with this, and that is that as we rise and expand, we feel like inhale, and as we shrink and contract and descend, it feels like an exhale. If concentrating on the breath and the movement together feels like too much, don't worry about it. Really, at the moment, we're just opening up some movement. You can open and close the fingers. We can stretch here a little. I like to clasp my fingers and roll my wrists. Change direction. Push out. And then I always like to do this where I inhale up. And exhale, just relax. You can also open the arms out or just put them down. For now, we'll just put them down. So twist the fingers, palms pointing out. Inhale up. Stretch really into the back and shoulder. You can also go up an inch from here. And relax. Good, okay. Waist, just because such a large area. I keep it moving. And we change direction. Okay. Change a couple of times. Do 3 or 4 or 5 in one direction and then move to the other. Nice. Okay. And then knees, we can just reach down. We can circle nice and slowly and easily. Change opposite way. Push back a little bit. And stand up. Nice to tap the lower back, hip area. It's real often a tight area. I'm just going to let somebody in. Let's hit the weight in the room. There we go. Nice. And we do the same with our ankles. We can toe to the ground and just make a circle. Change direction. And then opposite side. Nice. Change direction. Okay, now hopefully the body then feels a little bit warm and moving. So just want to get a little bit of movement pattern going. Let's sit down and do some breath work. It shouldn't be hard work, but just do a little bit of breathing. Okay, so just want to say that we're going to be, I said this already, but just I know we have one new person in the class. We're going to be doing 3 types of breathing for 3 different purposes in the longer class in the course. But what we're doing today is we're going to do balanced breathing. Okay, so the basic idea, the introduction to breathing is that now there's so many different types of breath work and so many things. I didn't count them, but there were about 20 to learn very well when I did yoga teacher training. There was about like 20 different ones, and then there's like breathing for different things. And essentially, and this is a good takeaway and a good thing to keep in mind, essentially they are doing 3 things, right? When you inhale for longer than you exhale, that means the period of time for the inhalation is longer than it is for the exhalation. You are upregulating your nervous system. So you are energizing yourself. So you're switching to sympathetic nervous system. You're getting fired up. Okay? That's a natural thing to do anyway. When you exhale suddenly, sharply, or for a longer duration than you've inhaled, you are down regulating your nervous system. You're calming down. You're switching to parasympathetic. Again, people do it in their sleep. Dogs do it in their sleep. People do it naturally when they're stressed. And you'll also always hear, this is a nerdy hobby, when you listen to recordings of soloists, you'll hear between da 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 dum da 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 dum, because when they're playing the long phrase, they're not conscious of it, but there's a slow, long exhale that went for that whole phrase. So that's a natural thing to happen. So we're going to be taking advantage of that. We're going to be doing, if we want to be, what we want is essentially to be able to say, okay, I need to calm down quickly. I'll do this. Or I need to charge up or get fired up quickly. I'll do this. Okay, 2, 3 minutes, whatever it is. Today we're doing a balance of both. So you inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now what that does is you get the alert benefit of the upregulation and you get the calm benefit of the downregulation. And in general, this is the state you want to be in, calm and alert. Right? Sounds ideal, doesn't it? You're alert but calm. It is ideal because the opposite is what happens. You're scattered and nervous. You know, that's what we don't want. So this is the skill. So I just wanted to give the introduction as to why, because it's nice to sit and breathe, but it's also good to know, like, what am I doing here? You know? So this one is really simple. You inhale for the same count as you exhale. Now, we can also add a small hold, and the hold is going to increase the amount of nitric oxide, which is going to help stimulate the vagus nerve, and it's going to have a stronger effect. We do not want to hold to the point where we're freaking out and feeling uncomfortable, because that's going to have the opposite effect, right? So let's just imagine, mouth's closed for a moment, we'll just use our nose. So we inhale, let's just start with 3. Like inhale 1, 2, 3, and then we won't pause yet, we'll exhale for 1, 2, 3. Let's keep this pace going for a moment. In, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Okay, relax. Now what naturally happens is you want to pause for just a moment. So we're going to go with that. We'll stick with a count of 3 or maybe 4, but what we can do with the 4 count can be the hold. So in, 2, 3, hold, out, 2, 3, hold, in, 2, 3, hold, out, 2, 3, hold. Okay, take it easy for a second. So this is what we want to get the alertness but relaxation at the same time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let you practice that for a moment. I'm going to do it myself, but I won't count. And the reason I'm doing it like that, just for today, is that I want you to follow your own pace. Everyone's pace of breathing is different. And if we're following my pace, it might not be exactly your pace. So I think we're clear on what to do. Inhale for a count, hold for comfortable, exhale for the same count and hold for comfortable, right? So let's have like 1, 2, or 3 minutes of unguided practice of that. Okay, and you can start. Okay, take it easy. Good enough. Good enough. We don't need to win any breathing competition trophies today. We'll just take it nice and easy. So this is a good practice. You know, if you're about to do something, you're about to practice your instrument, you're about to, anything, doesn't matter. You're about to live, you're about to be a human. Do it. It's going to be like a way to check that you're not too excited, you're not too like, you know, indifferent. You're going to get the benefit of both sides. Now, when we're doing our full breath class, of course, we'll take time. We'll go into deeper explanation. We'll take a long time to practice, not a long time, but we'll have a nice practice session. And what we'll do also is we'll check the two other extremes. What happens if we upregulate? You know, what happens if we really downregulate? And those might be skills we need as well. You know, at some point you might just need a boost of energy. Anyone who's ever drank coffee could relate to that. Sometimes you will need a boost of energy. If you can get it through breath work, great. I only drank coffee once, and it's a funny story. I can tell you again, but we'll go there another time. I said if I'm going to do it, I'm doing it right. I'm having a double espresso in Paris. So, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. Definitely, you'll need the down regulation one sometime. I use that all the time. Kids are screaming in the back of the car. You can't, you know, reach. You can't look back. You can't stop them. They won't stop. So you follow the wipers, you know, breathe in, 2, 3, the window wipers are going, but you breathe out. Maybe if they've swung by 3 times, then you breathe out, they swing by 6, 7 times. Then you know you're okay, I'm not going to go crazy, so it's fine. So we'll go into those a bit more in the breath class. Right. Does anybody want to stand up or move or crank? I don't think we need to because we've only been sitting for a few minutes. We did that. So I think you should be okay, hopefully. If you want to do. But we're going to do a little mindfulness session. What that means, we're going to tune into our senses. Probably not 5 senses unless you brought like something tasty. But looking around and listening are 2 really accessible things we can do. Okay, and they're super grounding. This gets you immediately back into the present, back into your conscious, what they call conscious processing, you know, away from that limbic brain that's freaking out about things, you know. So let's give it a go. It's pretty simple. You pick something, you sit down. The only, like they say, caveat or the only rule is you have to observe what you're observing with total non-judgment. You're just the observer. So you have a kind of an open acceptance of whatever it is. No good observing the breath if you're like, oh, that's a really crappy breath. It's only like, it's not, I'll never be a free diver. Doesn't count as mindfulness. You have to just be nice and open about what you're encountering. So the easy thing is, what do you see? Okay, let's have a look. Pick an object, pick something in front of you. I'm gonna pick my camera and I notice the lens, I notice a little light around it, I notice a little shutter. And then I can turn the sense of looking back in myself and try to physically feel my eyes and the difference between the temperature of the air touching the ball of my eye and then when I blink, that feeling that goes across the eyelid lowering onto the socket. So I'm grounding the sense of vision back to a physical sensation. Now I'm looking a little further away out the window. There's a window behind my camera. I can see some trees. It's evening time here. There's no leaves on the trees, but there are tiny, tiny buds. some roofs of houses. And again, I feel my eyes, try to feel my eyelashes. And all is well with the world. Now, take a moment to use your vision, your sense of sight, and just ground into your environment in your own unique way. Everyone's in their own environment. Observing and just being non-judgmental about what you observe. Okay, then let's release that practice and we go for listening. So for me, I can hear some traffic outside. I can hear a little wind outside. I can very faintly hear my breath. I can feel the sensation in my ears. Kind of a heaviness in my ears as the blood moves through inside of my ears. And the faint sound of birds chirping in the distance. Okay, take a moment to ground into your, say, audio environment, both internally and outside. Let your awareness rest on a particular sound for a few moments and then release it and move to something else. And now see if you can shift the awareness slightly inward. That might be the sound of the breath as it comes into the nose. Perhaps even the sound of your heartbeat. Even the sound of swallowing saliva, gulping or swallowing sound. Anything that leads your awareness inward into the body. And then we release all of that and we just have a half smile like Mona Lisa and just an open awareness, non-judgmental, very present. Okay, and then release that and take it easy. Okay, everybody feeling a little bit more calm? Good. We'll have a whole class on that. So we'll move on and we'll have what I call a restorative session. We will lie down or, recline in some form or another. If you're going to stay on your chair, that's okay too. But what we're going to be doing essentially is a full body relaxation and chilling out. I have a yoga mat and a cushion and I'm going to lie on over here. You'll still be able to hear me and see me, but it won't be important. We'll do a few little reclined stretches, but in general, you'll be able to follow whether you can see me or not. Just going to lower the camera slightly, like that. I brought my green yoga mat. I mean, what other color would it be? I'm really hitting the stereotype here. All right, we'll lie down, take it easy. I have a couple of favorite stretches I like to do lying down, and my knees are bent, feet flat on the ground, and I cross one foot over across my thigh like that. And if here is enough, that's okay. You can give the knee just a little bit of encouragement, a little press. It's also nice to lift the other knee, reach around the thigh, and just hold and sit back, and you get a nice outer hip stretch. And you can just stay here and keep relaxing into it. Take a moment here. And we're really going for relaxation here so we can focus on the exhalation. Even letting out a sigh if we feel like it. Like, just. Okay, and then we'll slowly try the other side. So we release that. Take your time. Foot down, then cross over opposite side. Remember, staying here is an option. Or another option is raising the thigh, reaching around and lying back again. Nice, so release that slowly. Then we'll do one more stretch on each side, and that's going to be to straighten one leg and let the knee come over across the body and reach your arm out the opposite way. Here, there's no need to, you can either look at the outstretched hand or just look straight up is fine. And what we do in this position is we prioritize the arm and shoulder staying on the ground above the knee reaching the ground on the opposite side. We don't want to lose the integrity of the spine, the back. Okay, release that nice and slowly. We'll go to the opposite side. And again, focusing on the exhalation or even a sigh. Okay, and then slowly coming back to center. And now again, two options. You can either just straighten your legs out. Oh, I'm going to take the second option and I'm going to put my feet together close to the body and just let my knees drop open. So gravity is just giving a little stretch on the legs. And my hands, I can either hold my belly or chest, solar plexus area, feel my breath, or just release them out to the side, palms up. Either way is completely fine. And then from here, we'll just take a little scan of the body. So starting at the crown of the head and really consciously just relaxing, letting go. Kind of like a wave washing down the body. So from the crown of the head, moving to the jaw, releasing the jaw, shoulders, elbows, fingers. Ribs, hips. Knees, ankles, toes. Once you've gone through the body like this, then we can focus a little more on the breathing. Again, mostly on the exhalation. And a constant feeling of just melting into the ground, just releasing down. Long exhalations. If at any point some part of your body feels like it might be holding a little tension, breathe into that area as though to fill that area. So for example, your shoulder might feel tight. Breathe in as though you're filling the shoulder, breathe into the shoulder. And sigh and relax. Okay, and then we'll very slowly and gently just roll onto our side. Take a moment here. Slowly open your eyes. The beauty of this position is you can find small objects that have been lost under a bed or under a cupboard for years. Okay, then slowly push up to a seated position. Take your time. Sit here for a second just to let the blood normalize. We don't want to jump straight to standing and run out the door. You won't make it 3 steps. All right, and then slowly, slowly in your own beautiful way, stand up. Take your time. And we meet back on the chair. Okay, everybody still alive, still with me? Didn't lose anyone in that last one? Okay, cool. So we'll have a little seated, we'll try just like touch on each of those things, just as a nice little sort of an integrated practice. So I'm going to sit down. Now, I'm going to be ranting about this at length in another session, but sitting, I want you to sit, please, on the edge of your chair. So you're making a kind of a tripod between your sitting bones and your feet. Okay, this is a beautiful position for supporting yourself in. After you finish this course, you're going to like saw the back off every chair. So there'll be no backs on any chairs. All right, so we'll try a little bit of just moving forward from the hip and back. So what I'd like here is for you to really actually feel your hip and sitting bones. So at the moment, if I rock forward, I'm like expanding here around the navel area. My tailbone is pointing back now. Okay, and then I tuck my tailbone forward and rock back. So I'm rocking forward onto the front of my sitting bones and then back pretty much onto the tailbone or coccyx at the back. I'm just getting that little bit of mobility movement in the hip. And then the position I want to settle in is just forward of center. I don't really want to be in the middle or I'm still falling back a little. I just want to sit. So as if I had a tail, which I used to a couple of years ago, I wouldn't be sitting on the tail, right? I'd be like just slightly forward of that tail. So we're talking not a full twerk, but just like, you know, a little bit forward. You're not like auditioning for pop music video or anything, but like just cozy. Okay, cool. And now from here, we'll just try the opposite, not the opposite, but the, guess you could say opposite, plane of motion. So just turning. There we go. You put your chiropractor out of business doing this. Click, 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 click. Okay, nice. Now we'll try a little bit of breathing here, okay? So I'm going to use this, what's called spinal cord breathing. So the motion is this. We have just loose fists or hands at the front, and we open up the rib cage very wide. So this is like a big inhalation. And then we fold forward, exhalation. Now, if you notice, the hips are doing the same thing as before. Rocking, rolling forward, open. And then sitting back onto the sitting bone, exhale. So inhale, open. Really expand, like you're opening the windows, opening the lungs, exhale. Fold. Now, I'd like you to follow your own pace for this movement. Again, we try for a balanced breath here. Inhale, just about the same length of time as we exhale. Okay, nice. And then relax. Now we ground back into the senses. So again, I'm going to go for the easy options. What do I see in the environment? Do I hear? And now I'm going to close my eyes and listen as though listening inward to the breath, to the sounds in the body. At the same time, half smile. And by half smile, of course, we mean a little smile, not a large smile on one side of the face. More Mona Lisa than Batman villain. Nice and easy, total open acceptance of all that's coming into your awareness. And then from here, just feeling the crown of the head like you're under a waterfall. It's just pouring down, sending a relaxation wave of awareness to your shoulders, elbows, hands, ribs, down, down, down through the body. Through the legs, and even maybe continue down into the ground, into the earth. And then open your eyes. And fantastic. You are now 5 years younger than you were. But no, it comes with no age regression guarantee. But that's our taster session. Obviously, this was the introduction session, and in the other sessions, we're going to be going a little longer. Those are going to be 90-minute sessions. So each one is, while they're all integrated, they're almost a standalone workshop as well, you know. So you can think of them as like a little mini workshop. In some of those, we will be using some journaling, and that's going to be to reflect, be kind of asking some open-ended questions. You know, I'm not here with answers, but just kind of to prompt your own thought process. You know, what do I struggle with? Where do I think I can apply this? You know, if I had a technique that could reduce anxiety, where would it be useful? You know, and this is just going to help you to figure out, you know, how to make it practical, how to use it. So that's where the journaling will come in. Try to say that 5 times fast. We're also going to be doing some practice with our instrument. Now, not to scare you, we're not going to be like, you know, it's not etudes or anything. It's going to be just the way we feel now or did a moment ago, right? Just totally, I want to do that while holding the instrument. I think that's really important, you know, to give it that context and to give it that kind of grounding. I know that, for example, a technique that, say, for example, hypnotists use is they will give you what they call an anchor. So they'll get you into this nice state of, you know, feeling good. That could fill that in any way you like. That can be dealing with whatever issue. You're going to be feeling relaxed and good. And then they get you to physically anchor that into a thing, right? That can be simple, like pinching your fingers together or something. Okay, you're about to go into a stressful situation, then you have this anchor. And that, you know, your body makes associations, your brain makes associations. Oh, I'm feeling, you know, I have a sense of relaxation. What I want to do is try and get that anchored into you sitting with your instrument, you know. I can sit with my instrument. You want to be like, I can sit, I can feel confident, you know, open. I'm not tight. I'm not like nervous. Breathing, relaxed. So I'm going to be doing a bit of that. So the two things, what you're doing there is like a stress response, a natural stress response. Um, in performance, it's not that it's completely too late, but it's nearly too late. You can remind yourself to breathe, but it's like anything. You have to practice doing that specific thing. So you have to hold your instrument and like mime, like rehearse. Hold your breath, do it, and then play. We're also going to do a practice, and I think it's going to be really helpful for that, where we play an instrument. Now, this can be as simple as just one note, but you do the breathing to the rhythm of the note, right? So, bong, 2, 3, hold, bong, 2, 3, hold. Now, if you just play a note, you can do that and get into. After a while, you can play. You can play like the first four notes of a scale. Ba dee da da. That can be inhale. Boom, 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 boom. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 bum. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful practice. You're not necessarily going to really play like that, or you know, but you're keying in this idea that I can breathe and be relaxed, because you know it's a shame not to have you know, music has that built into it. It has that rhythm, so you can move a little and breathe with it, you know, rather just like and I'm talking about like a micro movement is going to make all the difference, you know, just that movement in your spine, just being, it means your body's not scared, it's enjoying itself, it's moving, you know. I always say like the two living species that have nailed this are snakes and Latin women, you know. They cannot stay still. They just like, if there's some music or so, you know, it's like, and you just want to imagine you're some combination of both, you know, like a Latin woman with a snake's head or something. No, you don't have to go crazy like that, but you know what I mean? So music, it's naturally this thing. And I remember years ago a teacher saying that to me, and I was tight, you know, and he was saying like, actually move, actually rock back and over, actually, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, you don't have to go crazy, but some imperceivable movement is going to free you up a bit and help you breathe. But it does happen. But it's just to be aware that the reason I'm holding my breath is because I'm stressed. It's a stress response. And I can rehearse being not as stressed, you know. Or even, okay, it's going to happen, I'm a little stressed. Go again. You know, don't judge it, just you know, go with it. Take a breath and keep moving. But they do need specific, like, you have to actually drill that thing, you know. Like, actually go in and like, you know, pretend my shoulder's too tight. Like, lift up your shoulder and then, you know, so it like your body remembers, it does that. You know, it's fine to just say generally, go in, relax, you know, but you need this, it's like, it's in the detail. Yeah. Sorry, my answers are seeming to be a lot longer than the questions, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing. If it's an interview, it's not a good thing. They tell you just to like stop talking. But I think it's okay. I kind of come up with a, you know, a little acronym for people who are familiar with mindfulness. They call it, you know, mindfulness-based stress reduction, right? MBSR. Um, for me, and I know that this isn't connected to that, so I don't want to confuse anybody. But I wanted to extend the definition of that into what I do. So I say move, breathe, smile, relax. That's MBSR, right? Now, I'm not going to like say that to anyone officially because they'd have to pay me for that. But it's a good little it's a good little acronym. If you are familiar with mindfulness, mindfulness-based stress reduction, you can extend that into what we're doing here. Move, you know, breathe. Smile means like you cannot be like, you know, that, and it's like a subtle thing, but when we're like, you know, in that nice meditative state, you can't be in fight and flight and freaking out if you're smiling. Not really. I mean, it's possible, but not the way we're doing it, and relaxing, you know. So that's something that I have sort of just, what do you call it, an acronym, I think, and it's just like a little reminder. So if you're familiar with that world, that might be helpful. I don't know. I will see you sometime. You'll have like a whole big move. Somebody's going to take it up. If I was good at marketing, but in any case, cool. Thanks for coming. Anything else? If you want to ask, feel free. Now is your chance. No, the coffee story is. I'm a believer in doing things once like that because I don't drink coffee. But I said I'll give it a go. But I was just about to, propose, and it was the worst time to do it because obviously I was already pretty nervous, and double espresso on top of that was just not. It was just, when it's just the wrong time. Might have been the right thing, but at the wrong time. So, but yeah, it was fun. Okay, our next session, because it's Easter Sunday next week, it's going to be on Saturday. But after that, they're all Sundays. And if you want to like complain or ask anything else, either put it on a postcard and just like no stamp, no address, just hope it gets there, or else talk to Brenda. I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just joking. Okay, will we say goodbye?